Good evening, TC, and welcome all to our weekly podcast, Terry Curran's The Curran View, with the Order Hillsborough, Mr. Terry Curran. Steady away, son, how are you?
Steady away.
Steady away, can't
You said it for me.
Well, that's the title of your new book, by the way, Steady Away. I think it's a great title. How's your week gone, mate? What you been up to this week?
Yeah, I just feel as though I'm getting a little bit better. I did a bit too much, I think, Friday night.
Yeah.
By the way, I thought Birmingham was very unlucky on Friday night.
Yes. Well,
I should have gone to my cousin's birthday party, but I wasn't feeling up to it. Too much, you see.
Yeah.
Out all day Friday. But other than that, not too bad.
Let's start on that game Friday night, Sheffield Wednesday versus Birmingham. A good win for Sheffield. And you were out there with the lads.
Win.
Yeah, it was a very important win. But you were there with the boys, wasn't you?
Yeah.
Were you in the lounges? Were you working the lounges?
No,
as a fan?
No, we a few of us decided to go.
Yeah.
Roger Wilde and Chris Turner, but Chris had to back out at last minute because he went down to Edinford to watch Gateshead in Edinford. So I took the boys and had a great night. But we all three of us thought Birmingham was very unlucky at times. I mean, the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes, it looked as though they were going to absolutely batter Sheffield Wednesday. I thought the two full-backs were poor for Sheffield Wednesday. You know, they're not a team what can defend, I will say that.
How important is it to score that first goal? And it really does change the game, doesn't it?
It is important, but if you're a good team playing against a poor team or an average, then it doesn't make any difference, does it, in a sense? Because, you know, your good teams will always come back.
Absolutely.
With patience and craft and having the natural ability to get goals and not even concede once they've conceded. But I thought Birmingham were very, very unlucky at times.
But again, we're talking about two pretty much bang average sides at championship level. And I think when, it's not particularly a 6-pointer, but Birmingham were just above the relegation zone. I mean, they got beat at Hillsborough, but in midweek on Tuesday night, they beat Blackburn Rovers 1-0. So it does give them a little bit of breathing space. But when you're down there and confidence is low, scoring them first goals in them kind of games really is vital and valuable, isn't it?
Most certainly. I mean, I tell Jock and Tom that Birmingham had beat Blackburn.
Yeah.
So no, but who did they beat? Not QPR. QPR beat them, but they beat somebody. They beat somebody because they got a new manager, didn't they? 3-0. I said, I'm telling you, Birmingham will beat them.
Yeah, well, we certainly beat Blackburn Rovers because it was John Eustace, his first game in charge of Blackburn, and there's a lot of problems going on off the pitch at Blackburn Rovers, as there is with a lot of football clubs. And Birmingham, of course, Tony Mowbray being a former Blackburn Rovers manager. So it would have been probably a couple of years ago, Eustace in Birmingham's dugout and Mowbray in Blackburn's dugout, both managing the other side and managing against their former. Let's start on the magic moments then, T, moving away from that game. What have you sourced? There's been so many midweek as well.
Some real into
some of the bolts, yeah.
I don't like to pick the odds because you put 2 or 3 up, and and you like to go with 2 or 3. I picked the Hull goal. I hope I pronounce his name right. I picked the Hull goal, the second goal, when he's got to byline.
Yes.
And then tapped it back with inside of his instep to give himself an angle.
Yep.
And bent it right into the top corner. Absolutely great goal. But there's been that many, like you said, great goals. I think his name is Ohio, is it? Ohio.
Okay. Sounds like MacDonald had a farm.
Ohio, something like that. But what a great... I don't know if you saw it. Did you see it?
I saw Hull in midweek, and I want to bring up, it isn't one of my magic moments, or it should be, because I wanted to talk about it in our topics of the week, but we'll go early in that now because you've mentioned Hull. The equalising goal at Rotherham the other night when Jayden Philogene, He used to play for Aston Villa in the youth team.
That's right. Yes.
I think his
Lads were
name,
telling me about him.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think his name was Jaden Philogene Pedence, or it was a double-barreled surname at Villa, but I think he just uses Jaden Philogene. Now, I mean, he makes the fullback, he comes back on him, and then he does a Rabana and
Yes.
sticks it in there. Now, apparently, and I've watched it many, many, many times, I still can't work out that it's an own goal, but the dubious goals committee sat and did give that as an own goal, so it must be the greatest own goal assist ever.
Well, people don't like me saying this. It all depends how many people backed him to score first goal or
Maybe.
scored a goal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Because when you see some of them, what do they see that we don't
I
see?
don't know. Apparently, I mean, I put it on the Curran view on the group.
I know I've watched it. I'm thinking beside it, that's not an own goal.
No, but a couple of the fellas have said it hits the defender. It was missing the goal. It hits the defender's head and goes in. I can't see that. I'll be honest. I can't see that. Whether my eyes aren't as good as what they were, but I looked at that and thought that's on target. That is a fantastic goal. It might have clipped the defender's head. I'm not disputing that, but for me, it was on target. It's Philogene's goal. It again, in my opinion.
It's crazy at
Great
times.
bit of skill, though. I mean, this is what
Brilliant.
we watch football for. Taking the back on, megging him, coming back, and a little Rabana into the top corner. Just phenomenal. And I have watched that from Hull City's fans that have taken it on their phones. I've looked at it from different angles that Hull City have put up on the socials. And I just think it is one of the most magical goals that I have seen for a long time, and that's what I pay to watch. Well, I don't pay; I do watch it
There's
indirectly,
some
paying because
great.
I'm
There
watching it
is.
on Sky.
I mean, we say it every week, don't
Yeah,
we? You see,
yeah.
can anything get better than that? And 5 or 6, 7 or 8 seem to do it.
And again, there's sometimes that I'll watch a game and I'll go, "What a first touch! What a pass!" And then it
Yeah.
doesn't result in the goal, and then you can't remember who it was because if it's scored, it's on reels and you watch it time and time again on the social medias. But if they don't score from it, you kind of forget because you're watching that much football. But yeah, fantastic by Jaden Philogene, and he does look a handful. And what a great job their gaffers doing, isn't he? At Hull City, they really
Yeah,
seem to have turned it round.
he's done a terrific job. They've had a couple of funny results at all. They've had some great
Yeah,
results away from all.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know, because they'd be right in amongst it all. Them if they'd have got a couple of more wins or turned three of those losses into wins.
yeah,
You know, and they're a good team to watch. I mean, they go up to Sunderland, absolutely beat Sunderland up
yeah.
at Sunderland.
Mm.
You know, but as Greaves in Saint used to say, it's a funny old game, football.
It is a funny old game, but Rosenia has really turned in to be a top coach and manager. I thought he was a great pundit as well. So it's nice to see young managers coming through the system and managing at a decent level because it looks as though in the Premier League, if a Premier League club want a new manager, they overlook these managers up and coming and do tend to go for foreign managers that have won something in foreign leagues. And I'm not saying that they're not good managers, but what I'm saying is winning things in foreign leagues isn't the same as winning them in English leagues. So if you put some of these young English managers as manager of Eintracht Frankfurt or Bayer Leverkusen, etc., they probably would reap the same benefits as some of the managers.
It's funny how they come for some of our young players.
Yeah,
That never come for our young managers,
no, they don't.
the foreign clubs, do they?
No, no, no.
But what I'm trying, the other thing about it is
Mm.
when they get the opportunity, some of them. I mean, some don't get an opportunity,
Yeah.
but when some do,
Mm.
they make a right mess of it.
Yeah, they have done. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you think to yourself,
Mm.
they're doing well there. They go there and they struggle.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm like you. I'd definitely give someone like Rossini a crack at it.
Yeah. And another young manager that's doing wonderful things for the Stags at Mansfield is young Nigel Clough. I mean, he's not so young these days, but I mean, 9-2 against Harrogate. No one saw that coming because they're not whipping boys. Harrogate were in the playoff places.
I had a £20 7 teams on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Salford cost me £1,600 for 7
Oh,
teams
grief.
against Donny. I had Mansfield, I had Leeds.
Yeah. But what a great job he's doing, as
Oh,
Nigel Clough.
fantastic! Listen,
Quietly.
he's
Quietly.
always been a decent manager.
Yeah, he has.
I mean, I thought he'd done exceptionally well at Derby.
Yeah, and
Because he
Burton.
had to get rid of all the dead ones,
Yes. Yep.
right? And he never had any money to spend.
No.
And he did practically the same thing at Sheffield United.
Yep.
So I do feel sorry for him. I mean, he's one of them I would definitely give a chance to me.
100%. And it speaks volumes for me as a manager in terms of they've got big bollocks, ain't they? Because there's managers that would look at situations there, like you've just alluded to, big clubs, and go, do you know what? Not for me at this time. And a lot of them don't back themselves. They do
I
bottle the
mean,
chance, but Cloughie never has.
no, he's a bright manager. He's a bright man,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah, he is. He played
So
very
that
intelligently.
helps him.
Mm.
Where these foreign managers what come over, they are intelligent, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they'll speak 2, 3, 4 languages.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Did you see the Kevin Campbell that I'd posted up talking about Brian Clough on the group this week, by the way?
No,
Oh, it
I've
was
not seen
fantastic.
it.
It was funny. It really was funny. It was when Campbell played against Nottingham Forest, the youth team, and Cloughie tried to sign him. It really was funny. But check it out on the group. We do post a lot of things on the group, guys, and a lot of things that we do talk
I've
about
been doing
on
a
the
lot of
current view.
things with Janet today, running up and down and
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so join in with the conversation on the current view, and we have a lot of contributors there now. Keep posting up their opinions, etc., and I love to read them. I can't always answer because we're working and we are busy in that, but we do look at everything, and we really do appreciate your input into the current view group. My magic moments, TC. I was very impressed with the young lad that you've got on loan from Leeds, Pavada. And I thought
Yeah,
his
very
assist was
technically very
tremendous.
good.
Yeah. Apparently Birmingham were very close to signing him before Wednesday got his signature.
Well, that's the only thing what I thought was a little bit. His problem he has is just a little bit weaker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
Side of it.
I know what you're
But
saying.
technically looked very, very good.
Do you know who he reminded me of? Juninho that played at Middlesbrough.
Yes.
A really slight lad, but very technically very good, very gifted. And again, his first touch, you don't play off that touch. He's got that ball, he's commanding it. And I thought he was superb. And that little bit of skill that took him by and assisted, again, it's against my team, and I go, yeah, okay, but I still look at it and go, that's absolute class and well done, young man.
He did some magic moments in that game.
Yes, he did quite a few. Yeah, he was
technically.
exactly.
I said to Jocko was side of me. Tom were a bit further down. I said technically he's good. And is he got him on loan from Leeds? There.
Yeah, they have. Yeah. But again, he's one of them players that when Sheffield Wednesday are on the box now, I watch him because I want to have a look at him. I want to see what he does in the next match. And players like that do excite me. Conor Gallagher, his brace. Chelsea half time absolutely stunk the place out, and it was a very very even game. And then
I
Conor
thought it was
Gallagher.
a poor game, me.
Sorry.
They're going. They absolutely battered Aston Villa.
No, it's incredible, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
And then they looked as though they weren't pressing the ball. They weren't doing anything.
I know. They done nothing that they did against Villa. At Villa,
I want Poch to be successful. I really do.
Yeah, same here. And you can't put your finger on what's quite wrong because again, from the get go at Villa Park, they were up for it. You could see they were up for it.
I don't want to knock Silva because he has been not only a great player, he's a world class player. But when he's in the team now, it is too slow and sideways and backwards far too much.
Yeah.
But they pulled him off at half time, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
They got straight back
he
into
got
the
injured,
game,
didn't
but they
he? Yeah.
still went and sat back. It baffles you at times.
I know, but again, Conor Gallagher scored a nice brace, and you think, well, typical, ain't it? Typical of the lad that was on loan there. And again, that's the way to celebrate a goal. You're now a Chelsea player. Forget about where you were before. You're a Chelsea player. He scores a goal and he goes and celebrates with the Chelsea fans. That's what football's all about. People don't understand what it's like to score a goal. I don't, because I've never scored one at that level, but you do. And when you score that goal, you just overcome with exuberance and you just want to let it out. You've just done something special. Why
Yeah,
not
yeah.
celebrate it? Again, going back on the flip side of that, Declan Rice scores and he's like, I don't want to celebrate it. I kind of half understand that because he was at West Ham for a long time and it was the sixth goal and they absolutely smashed him. Now, if he'd have scored the winning goal in the 90th minute and it would have been like 1-0, then I think it might have been a different goal celebration, maybe.
But you see, all that now, it's. I think that's gone beyond the joke,
Yeah,
really.
I do. I
You
do.
know,
Yeah,
it's like all this do good,
yeah,
do good. You scored a goal.
yeah.
That team now, Arsenal pays your wages.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I still think you
No,
should
have they got the
celebrate, but
bottle to celebrate half
yeah,
the time? No.
well, that may be another thing as well. But I kind of half get it when it's someone like I remember Andy Johnson scoring a goal against Birmingham, and he'd been there as a kid. I think he went to Palace. I think he scored in the Tilton Road against, well, for Palace against us, and he kind of just, almost apologise for scoring. You don't need to apologise. You've scored a goal for your new club. You've left us now. That was part of your past, but this is what you are now. So you're more than entitled to celebrate it, son. So go and celebrate the goals, kids. No matter who you've played for how long. I kind of half get it, but you're playing for another team now, and go and celebrate it with your fans because you deserve it.
Without a question of a doubt.
And Joe Rothwell's goal for Southampton against Huddersfield. What a game that was. 2-0 up, you're thinking, oi, oi, what's going on? And
They've had two great results. Then
poor, but mind you, what a mad result then at Bristol City away. 3-0 down and scores a late goal. I mean, it is nip and tuck now. Ipswich are still looking good. Leeds United are looking superb. And I think for me, at the moment, if I was going to put any money on who's going to finish second, it would be Leeds United. But I wouldn't rule out any of the others, particularly
well,
Southampton.
I think it's going to be very tight between Southampton
Yeah,
and
same
Leeds.
here.
I think Ipswich will not have enough strength in depth, but I
Yeah,
think the other two are going
yeah.
to really kick on now.
Because I mean
I
that
think that's going to go nick and tuck.
absolutely, because it was a 25 game unbeaten run, wasn't it? Okay, they got well beat at Bristol City, but Leeds haven't had a wobble yet, and we're coming
No,
into the silly season now where
yeah,
teams are playing with that little bit of fear, and they're going to have a wobble, and Southampton are going to be chomping at the bit and
and
just
that
behind them.
and that's the thing, the wobble into it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You know,
People say, oh, they love the bottle. And look, when you're playing and you're playing the games of football, too, you've played at that level. I haven't. Sometimes you get a run of results that are really freakish, beginning of the season and at the very end of the season. And it's just been the way that football clubs have gone from 1888.
no, but
Yeah, you can't.
it is, and if you can get away without having that wobble, then you're laughing.
Yeah.
But everybody has that little bit of, when I say wobble, you eat those bad patches.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the other teams that are playing around have got something to play for, and it is 11 against 11. And certainly in that championship, it's anyone's game on any given day because, bottom can beat top, and it's so nip and tuck. I don't think it's the greatest quality that I've ever seen. I did
No,
watch
no,
bits
I
of
agree with that.
Birmingham's game against Blackburn, and it looked like an old reserve game. The atmosphere, I think there's more atmosphere on the Moon, if I'm
Hey,
honest.
they faced a load of fans up in Birmingham. And I tell you what, they made for the first 20 minutes, they made more noise than Sheffield Wednesday.
Away support, Birmingham's first class, but at home they're struggling to get supporters in. In fact, they've been given different groups. You can buy as a group tickets at cut price, uh, match day tickets, etc., etc. And they are working and trying the best to get the fans in. But when fans have stayed away for such a long time, it's very difficult getting them back on board because Blues have,
I
have
mean,
lost a lot of fans over the years.
I'm sure our older don't want fans in because he keeps putting.
He's a
It's
fruitcake,
cheaper to
isn't
go
he?
watch Arsenal play or Man City play than it is to watch Sheffield Wednesday.
I mean, he's a basket
But I will
case.
say about our ground is the atmosphere is terrific,
Yeah,
at times.
yeah. I mean, how much is it now at Sheffield Wednesday? At Birmingham, it's about 32 quid to watch the Blues. I mean,
We're one at Davis once, I do know that.
yeah. I mean, Aston Villa the other night when they played Newcastle when they got done,
I think our season tickets are dearer than Manchester City.
it's crazy,
I'm
isn't it?
nearly sure of it.
It's crazy. But the Villa ticket, because I said to Tom, you're having a laugh, ain't you? It was £67 in the Old End to watch Villa versus Newcastle. I said, you're having 67 quid to watch a game of football. And I'm thinking, who can afford to pay 67 quid for a game? I mean, 32 at Brummagem, I'm thinking,
But Gabby,
ridiculous.
even at home, then they might have a couple of pints,
Yeah,
something to eat.
yeah.
Christ knows what it's going to cost them if they've got 2 or 3 kids.
Absolutely. I mean, I wrote that poem. I
Yes, you
think
did.
2003. Give the working man back his simple game. And I wrote that on the premise of Keegan when he was saying that football's created this monster, and I thought, "Oh, that's a good image." So I wrote it around a monster, and we're all being swallowed up by this most unwelcome beast. And I think the monster's just getting bigger, and he's swallowing up more fans. It's quite incredible, but there you go. Fancy playing ping pong, T? If you do,
So
don't
that
play. Do
again,
you fancy playing ping pong? And if you do, don't go to South Korea.
I'm not bad at that. Obviously nowhere near that
Yeah.
level. I was bad at that ping pong,
It all
table tennis.
it all kicked off, didn't it? The South
No, I
Korean,
haven't seen it.
yeah, the South Korean team. They had, but I'm not 100% sure what went on. I don't think anybody is 100% sure what went on. But they was having a ping pong
Have you
game.
posted that home? I'll have to have a look at that.
I think it is on the Curran View, but I've certainly heard about it on Talk Sport, and they've had journalists that that work quite closely out there in South Korea, and they're not really sure what went on as well. It's very difficult finding what goes on in some of these Oriental
Yeah, it's
countries.
not like even in America where they put fake news out. They won't even tell you any news in those countries.
Exactly, T. But yeah, anyone for ping pong, don't go playing in South Korea. It does get a little bit moody. Book corner, T. We've got some books to chat about this week. The Sons of Revy, Leeds United, A Decade of Dominance by Rocco Green, 1899, and it's coming out on the 15th of the 4th. So another great book coming out by Pitch Publishing, The Sons of Revy, and it talks about that decade of dominance, and my word, did they dominate that decade. And while I'm just talking, because we're going to talk about Leeds United now, Summer of '63 Revy's plan for Leeds United by Gary Edwards. I've done a podcast with Gary, and that's out on all platforms for you to listen to. So we've pretty much got 2 books here: Summer of '63, the start of Leeds, and then the decade of dominance. And Don Revie, again, not our flavour of the month as an England manager. I thought he was an absolute failure at England as a manager. But in terms of Leeds United, one of the great managers in British football, wasn't it, Leeds United?
Yeah. Look, whatever we all think about him, and he was
Yeah,
disappointing being the England
yeah,
manager. But that Leeds United team have got everything: skill, steel, graft.
yeah.
Uh, if you wanted to have a brawl, they'd have a brawl. They've got everything in their game, every mortal thing. But you look at that. he wins so many trophies with them. Unlucky not to win more trophies. Just not having the squad depth like they have today. Yet goes to England and fails it. It makes you wonder. Well, it makes you wonder why. How does that happen?
Again, I don't know. You can see why England wanted Reevey from what he built. You can understand why England wanted Bobby Robson for what he built at Ipswich Town. But it sometimes doesn't translate to success with the national team, and that's what I always separate. I separate Revie as an England manager. Absolutely didn't like him at all. And I thought after that training session,
and he was a good player, by the way.
Yeah, he was a good player. I mean, he was I wouldn't say the original Revie plan, but it was the Hungarians that played with a deep line centre forward, and Manchester City adopted that in the 1956 final against Birmingham City.
They keep saying that we invented football, but everybody seems to have surpassed us with the coaching side of it.
Yeah, because they like to play with flair, and they like to get players on the ball.
What these continentals do, they want you to go out and express yourself,
absolutely,
but at the same time, run around, and make sure that you don't leave space or gaps for them to come through.
But the attitude
what we want to do is roll the sleeves up, work hard and get stuck in.
Work right, and work right. Know, how far can you run? How fast can you run? How athletic are you? I mean, in the olden days, the managers wouldn't have a football in training. They'd starve the players of the football because they thought that they won it on
Don't
Saturday.
tell me I've been at plenty clubs with that.
I know, but that goes back to the 40s and the 50s. The attitude, it's crazy. It's
Forest never Forest pre-season, but even after third or fourth day, balls were out. Same with Everton.
Well, to be honest, I mean, I've always been of the opinion, if you're going to run with the ball at your feet, because you're still running. You're working even harder because you got the ball at your feet. Go around passing the ball.
The continental coaches, they have athletes in their team.
Of course they do.
But they have athletes what can control and pass the ball.
Exactly. You've got to be athletic.
We want athletes what can just run.
Absolutely.
Box.
And that's the difference, T. They've always worked with the ball. I mean, your gaffer said famously, didn't he? The ball's the tool of your trade. Learn to love it. And few managers in this country.
I mean, the greatest one. If God wanted to play football in the sky, he would have put grass on clouds.
Absolutely.
He was so far in advance of other people, Cloughie.
Yeah, he was.
And he got ordinary players to play football.
Yeah, because it ain't that difficult. He got, he would.
100%, Gabby. You've just hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, it's a simple game.
Never complicated it, and football's not difficult. If you play the simple game or the simple way.
Absolutely, and Leeds United, great exponents of that simple game. I have heard or listened to recently, and again, both fans of Manchester City, arguably, the best team that we've seen in recent times, in my opinion. I do love to watch Manchester City, the way they pass the ball, the way they play with teams, and then bang, 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 they'll kill you off.
They're on a different level, but Liverpool play some great football.
They do, yeah.
Villa's play some good football this year. Arsenal play some great football.
Yeah.
They probably Arsenal, they try and bloody walk it in.
Yeah, but they've done that for some time, even under Wenger. They used to try and overplay and try and walk the ball in and score the per. You think just have a shot, but
there is times when they should shoot.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. You see the goalpost, bang, give it have a shot, work the goalkeeper. But Man City, yes, definitely one of the greatest teams that we've ever seen. Liverpool in the 70s and 80s, a fantastic team, dominated English football, as did Sir Alex Ferguson's Manchester United and AC Milan have just gone 1-0 up. Great header, the great cross, great header, Loftus-Cheek. Nice to see him doing well.
Fergie did it, man. I know he's the biggest club, but I know it's easy for them to pull players in.
Yep.
Right, but what a great job he did at Manchester United. Unbelievable. I mean, that won't ever get beat, that,
No, and what a great job he done at Aberdeen. There was I posted up a little documentary about Aberdeen, about Ferguson's time at Aberdeen. Gordon Strachan was talking and he was saying, you could accuse him of being a bully, but I'm glad we found that bully because he made us into a team.
Well,
And
you could accuse a lot of managers back then,
ex-
but being bullied in
exactly,
a sense. But that's how life was.
exactly, T. And Strachan is just saying there that he was so glad that they found Alex Ferguson because he made that team, and he made that team the way that.
And to listen to the rest of this podcast, head on over to www.patreon.com/SRB Media. Thank you.